Hey everybody and welcome. This is Donna, the Technology and Media Librarian at Upper Arlington Public Library. I'm here with our second video in the Cut the Cord series, this time about free streaming resources. So in this video, we're going to do a deep dive into free resources for cord cutters and only free resources that you can access. Now, if you're a new cord cutter and not sure where to start, I recommend that you go back and watch our first video. We go over the basics of how to get started when it comes to cord cutting in general. So I've linked that video in our description box below. This one is much more focused. We are only talking about what you can watch for free. 100% free. No account, no subscription, no monthly payments, no annual payments, nothing. It's free. Of course, there's some trade-offs. Basically, those trade-offs are commercials and what content is available to you on a free streaming service. But if you're a cord cutter on a budget, this supplements your monthly paid subscription services with more movies, more television series, and even news channels. Now, one thing that can be kind of frustrating, this is just true of cord cutting overall, is that no one service offers everything to everyone. So you may end up mixing and matching these channels until you find a combination that works for you. But that's okay because they're free. You don't have to choose based on prices and what fits in your budget. You can actually just test these out and keep the ones that you like based on either the content that they offer or the format that you prefer. Just about all of the apps that I'm going to demonstrate in this video are available to you on other media streamers, be it Fire TV, Apple TV, or Chromecast. And if they're not available on your streaming device, these services also have all of their own websites and apps for mobile devices. So you can stream directly from your mobile device without using your TV or media streamer. The very first app I want to talk about is Pluto TV. And I start with Pluto because for me, it's the app or channel streaming service, whatever you want to call it. It all means kind of the same thing. But Pluto offers the most unique content. Now, that's strictly a personal preference for me. It's certainly not an endorsement. It's just the app that I have the biggest soft spot for. As soon as you log into Pluto, and remember, there's no account required. So as soon as you open it up, you can start watching. You'll see that it looks very much like a standard cable guide. Pluto is owned by Viacom CBS. It is predominantly live streaming, and it has channel after channel with some really specific focuses. Just a lot of really fun and kind of funky channels. On television, you'll see they've got TV Land channels. They have holiday films now that we're entering the holiday season. There's a section specifically for kids, and there are entire channels even dedicated to classic sitcoms. So Pluto also has some on-demand content. If you miss out on part of a movie because you entered it midstream, remember this is airing live, and you want to watch that movie from start to finish, or if you just want to see what's available, definitely click on this on-demand section and check it out. But honestly, when I'm on Pluto, I'm really just here to scroll through the live channels and see what's on, see what's unusual, and see what might spark my interest. Next up, we have Tubi. Tubi is on demand compared to Pluto, and it has about 15,000 movies and shows to watch, so it's also a blend of film and television. But as you scroll through Tubi, you're going to see a lot of previous blockbusters. You'll see a lot of popular stars and actors. And one thing that I do want to mention is that I really like the way that Tubi is organized. It does a nice job of categorizing their content in a way that makes sense. It helps you target your interests without getting too narrow. Documentaries, you're looking for stand-up comedy, you're looking for fantasy. It's very straightforward, it's a lot more general, and I do appreciate that when I just want to explore. Two other sections on Tubi that I also really appreciate. One is their not on Netflix category. You can actually hear me doing the finger quotes when I say that. Yes, it's very cheeky, but as we mentioned in the previous video about streaming resources, free streaming can supplement the paid subscription services. So check out this not on Netflix section if you want to see maybe what you're not getting when you do have a Netflix subscription. Now, the other section I like is their Leaving Soon section, and that's always a nice way to remind you to watch the content on a free streaming service before it departs for a service that you might not have added yet, and you will see that with free and paid streaming. Then there's Crackle, which is a channel offered through Sony and Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment, and yes, it is that Chicken Soup for the Soul. And this has movies and TV shows that you can watch on demand. Again, I like the search interface. It offers TVs or movies and then those very broad general genres within those categories, action, sci-fi, and so on. Crackle's also great for getting into some classic series. They have a lot of older sitcoms, plus some contemporary television shows. These I like to think of as those gone too soon shows that get a second chance at building an audience through streaming, even if they're not creating new episodes. And where Crackle does stand out is it does have Crackle exclusives and Crackle originals. So those are shows that you're not going to get on any of the other streaming channels shown in this video. You might remember this from the previous video we did on cutting the cord, getting started, but we talked about how the live TV streaming services tend to be pretty expensive, and you also have to keep an eye out for whatever news channels you're most interested in. So if you wanted your local over-the-air networks, you wanted to be kind of picky and choosy about which live streaming service had those available. So if you are looking for live news channels, you have a few free options. You'll see a little bit of overlap among the available news broadcasts from each of the following services, but I do just want to mention each of them. So first up is Pluto TV. Again, in their lineup of live TV channels, they do include a section for news and opinion. It also has sports programming available, and maybe you're not going to watch Big Ten games, but again, an app like Pluto is more about what you stumble on than what you maybe intentionally seek out. There's Zumo TV, which isn't just news. It actually has, again, both live and on-demand movies, etc. But within that live programming, you'll see a lot of news channels, including CBS News, ABC, and Bloomberg News. It's set up very much like Pluto in that you can watch live by scrolling through its feed or go straight to movies that are free and on demand. There's also a service called News On that includes local affiliates live broadcasts, but it also has coverage from other cities here in Ohio. It'll be different from whatever market you're in. Obviously, I'm located here in the Columbus area. So you can also check in on other cities in other states. So if you're looking for places in your hometown where your friends and family are around the country, you can check out their live broadcasts for news as well. There's also Stir TV, that's from the Sinclair Broadcast Group. And again, you can use Stir to either select your local affiliates and watch those live. You can, again, check in with other cities and states. And it also has, you guessed it, on-demand movies and television shows. Now, the selection isn't huge, but it is available. So if you're already considering some of these channels for news, again, it just supplements all of the others that you're already watching. Who's watching this is local to our community here in Upper Arlington, therefore may not have access to the two free services that I'm going to talk about, which are Hoopla and Kanopy, through their libraries. However, my contact information is below if you want to know more about either service. And well, hello, librarian. I can always help you find contacts for your local library if you're not sure how to get in touch with them and find out what services they offer. These are also services that don't include commercials, so that's a huge bonus if commercials are one of the things you find frustrating about free services. You will need to have an account established, and to do that, you'll need the following: your library card number and PIN. So if you don't have that information available to you, please contact us here at the library and we'd be more than happy to help you figure out what your account information is. You'll also need an email address that you can access because you will need to verify your account via link. And finally, you'll just need to create a password for both Hoopla and for Kanopy. Once you create your accounts and add those channels to your streamer, and I've done a video about that, and it's linked in the description below, so if you're not sure how to go about doing that, I'm happy to explore that with you. But once you've created your account and you've added the channels to your media streaming device, you're just going to sign in to start browsing and then borrowing, and you'll be able to watch directly through your media streamer and your TV. Let's talk about Kanopy. Kanopy is all movies. It has more than 20,000 films available, and it has, again, that very focused collection. So I would consider this your destination for independent cinema. You'll find acclaimed documentaries. You'll find independent movies that are also award winners or that have a lot of buzz. You'll definitely find many films in foreign languages. There's even a section called Kanopy Kids that has a focus on educational content, and Kanopy Kids is exclusively for children ages 2 through 8. Movies on Kanopy will check out to you for 3 days, and you can borrow 10 movies on Kanopy per calendar month. Your borrow limit will reset on the first day of each month. I highly recommend Kanopy also for its access to the Great Courses series, especially because Great Courses on Kanopy do not count towards your monthly borrowing limit. It's just educational content on top of what you're already watching on Kanopy. So please do take advantage of this feature. It's fantastic. Hoopla has movies as well, but it also includes television shows, and its content is available for all ages in all genres. Hoopla has a huge library. You'll find everyone from popular movie stars to acclaimed documentaries. You'll see shows and movies that are family friendly or kid focused. There's cooking shows, there's exercise programs. And I encourage you to check out the category sections. It's so great for browsing, so great for that, ooh, I haven't heard of that, I really want to see it right now moment, which I really appreciate. There's this specific kids mode setting if you want to see only content produced for children ages 12 and under. So that can be really helpful if you're trying to just get something that's kid friendly. And if you remember from our previous video on streaming services, I did mention something called Acorn TV and another service called BritBox. Hoopla has so many movies and television series from Acorn TV and BBC Studios, plus PBS and Masterpiece Theater. So it's a great library of all of those television shows that are filmed internationally and maybe are a little bit harder to find here in America. And like Kanopy, you can check out 10 items per calendar month with your borrows resetting on the first day of each new month. If you're interested in adding the Hoopla and Kanopy channels to your Roku and then connecting the app to your existing accounts, remember I do already have a video for you and it's linked below. But if you have a different streaming device, I've also linked below the help pages for Kanopy and Hoopla because those come complete with step-by-step instructions according to the streamer you're using. So that's it. That's my little starter guide to some of the free movie channels, free TV channels that you can watch while you're cutting the cord. Thank you all so much for watching. I have a lot for you to check out in the description box below, so please take a look at those links. Send me a message with your questions. Let me know what free apps you're trying, or if you have one not mentioned here, let me know how it's going for you. And wherever you are in your cord cutting journey, let me know when you have questions. Let me know how it's going. I'd really love to hear from